Hi everyone, and welcome to this yoga flow practice for Cancer StrongHER. Hopefully you've joined us before on the mat, and you're aware that you should be connecting your movements to your breath and not overstretching. But if you're new to this program, just know that you shouldn't stretch to a point of discomfort, and that you should keep your feet as wide as you need to in order to have a good base of stability. So if your balance is a little challenged, don't take your feet together like I may instruct. Keep them a little wider. Also too, if you're new to yoga, you might want to consult your doctor before pursuing a program. That being said, we are going to start with our feet hip width apart. That means both fists will fit in between the feet. So ankles, knees, and hips are all in one line. Our shoulders are back and down. Crown of the head is lifting up towards the sky. And we're going to inhale as we sweep our arms up overhead and raise our heels up. So inhaling, drop down into a squat, exhale. Warming up, inhaling and exhaling. Two more, inhaling and exhaling. One more, inhale and exhale. Inhale those arms up and bring the arms out to the side, parallel to the earth. Step off your mat with your right foot. Your right heel is in line with your left arch. Keep both legs straight. Breathe in deeply. Exhale as you spin into triangle. The back of your hand is pressing onto the inside of your leg, and the opposite arm is reaching up towards the sky. Keeping that left foot pressed into the earth, you bend the right knee and lean away, stretching the arm over the ear. Use your abs to bring yourself back upright. Turn that right foot in and wrap your arms back, interlacing your fingers and rolling those shoulders open. We're going to go to a forward fold, so try to leave your legs as straight as possible. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, forward fold, hands can stay on the body or press up towards the sky. Getting a nice stretch through the shoulders and chest, as well as back and legs. Slowly lower your hands back down, bend your knees and round yourself up and shake those arms out. Inhale your arms up overhead, bring your hands together and lower to heart center. Turn your toes out on both feet, tailbone pulls to the back of the mat as we sink down into goddess pose. So crown of the head's pulling up towards the sky, tailbone's pulling down and back. Very nice, everyone. Strong bones, strong muscles. Inhale your arms up as you step on the mat. Exhale to parallel as you step off the mat with your left foot. Keep both legs straight as you turn into triangle. Back of the hands on the leg. Opposite arms are reaching up towards the sky. Keep pressing your right foot into the mat as you bend your left knee and reach overhead. Keeping your shoulders back, hips forward so you're in one straight line. Use your abs and inhale yourself back up. Arms are parallel. Take them for a wrap behind the back as you turn that left foot parallel to the mat. Round your shoulders back. Breathe in deeply. Exhale again to your forward fold. Hands again can stay at the back or press up towards the sky. Legs are straight. We're getting a nice stretch through the back of the legs. Slowly lower the hands, bend your knees, or round yourself up. Shake those arms out. Turn the toes out on both feet again and inhale your arms up. Exhale to heart center. One more time into goddess pose. Crown of the head's pulling up, tailbone's pulling down and back. And now we're going to inhale, straighten the legs, bring them hip width apart. Arms are going to be shoulder width apart. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, pick up your left foot and step back with your foot on a 45-degree angle. Bend your right knee, square your left hip, and reach up out of the waist. Staying connected to your breath, breathing in deeply. Exhale to warrior two. Your legs stay in place, but your torso turns. Fingertips are pulling in opposite directions. And then take your right hand and flip it palm up, and as we reverse our warrior, our left hand floats down to that back leg. Gaze up towards the sky. Come back to warrior two. Maybe sink a little lower. Okay, we're going to put a little weight in our arms. If you're not sure if you should be doing this based on surgery or treatment, please check with your doctor. But for those of us who can bear weight, we're going to bring those hands down to the mat. Step the feet back. You're in plank position. Squeeze your triceps, lower through chaturanga. Tops of the feet press into the mat, and we get that chest high for up dog. Turn your toes low underneath. Send your hips high, head low, down dog. And then look between your hands and hop back back to the front of your mat. Making sure your feet are hip width apart. We're going to do this all on the other side now. So inhale those arms up. Exhale, step back with your right foot. That right heel square to the front of the mat, and we're reaching up out of the waist. Leaving the lower body in place, turn to your right, warrior two. Tailbone pulls down, belly spur, fingertips pull in opposite directions. Take that left hand palm up and let the right hand float down the leg as you reverse your warrior. Come back to warrior two, and then cartwheel those hands down to the mat. Step back into plank, lower through chaturanga to up dog. Turn those toes under, send the hips high, down dog. And then look between your hands and hop back up to the front of the mat and bring your feet together. Inhale your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers. Point your index, cross your thumbs. Breathe in, up out of the waist. Exhale to your right as you push your left foot down into the earth. Your fingertips are trying to pull to the back of the room. Shoulders and arms are in one straight line. Inhale up, reach up out of the waist, squeeze your glutes and give a little back bend. Inhale up, exhale, fold, legs stay straight. Our arms swing back and forth like a pendulum. Bring your hands to stillness, bend your knees, and inhale, sweeping your arms back up overhead. Exhale, leaning to your left. Right foot presses into the earth and your fingertips are pulling towards the back of the room. And only bend as far as you can breathe comfortably. Come back up, inhale up out of the waist and squeeze the glutes. Give a little back bend. Inhale up, exhale, forward fold. Legs stay straight and our arms swing back and forth again like a pendulum. Maybe getting a little closer to the floor with each stretch. Bring your hands to stillness, bend your knees, sweep your arms up overhead and step your feet hip width apart. Pick up your left foot and step back on that 45-degree angle. We're going to get back into our warrior pose. We're going to bend our right knee, square our left hip, and we'll reach up out of the waist. Now you can stay right here, or if you want to challenge yourself a bit, pick up that back heel, your left heel. So you're just on the ball of your foot and bend that right knee a little deeper. Pulling back, gaze up towards the sky. We're in a high crescent lunge. Bring your torso back up, drop that back heel, straighten your front leg. Inhale deeply, keep those fingers connected as you exhale to your forward fold. Looking for your spot of gentle tension, gazing down the side or at your foot. Now bend your right knee, engage your abs, come back to that warrior one position. Bring your hands to your chest, step your feet together. We're going to roll those shoulders a little bit and relax them. Now we're going to inhale our arms back up overhead, and as we sit down into chair pose, our tailbone pulls to the back of the mat as our fingertips and crown of the head reach towards the sky. So breathe in deeply, exhale, bend your knees just as far as your knees allow. Tailbone's pulling to the back of the mat, and this is thunderbolt. Strong bones and strong muscles happening here. Leave those arms up as you straighten the legs, step your feet hip width apart. Pick up your right foot and step back with the foot on a 45-degree angle. Bend the left knee, square that right hip, and reach up out of the waist. And then again, you can stay right here or pick up that right heel and bend that left knee. Fingertips pull back, we gaze towards the sky, our high crescent lunge. Then drop the heel, straighten the left leg, inhale deeply, exhale, fold. And then bend the knee, engage the abs, come back to your warrior one position. Bring the hands to heart center and step the feet together. Roll those shoulders back to relax them a little bit. Elongate the arms back up, tailbone pulls to the back of the mat as we sit into thunderbolt. Hands come to heart center. We step the feet hip width apart and maybe just pedal those knees a little bit and heels, relax the legs. So we're going to work on some balance now. So all we want to do is think about that right foot. The toes spread wide, the chest is elevated, crown of the head's pulling up. Remember to tell me there's an imaginary string that's just going to pull our knee up. So come on and ball the foot on the left foot. And then slowly pull that knee up. Your foot is parallel to the earth and we're going to grab that knee and just hold. Look at something across the room that's stationary to help with your balance. Bring those hands up and slowly set that foot down. Pedal those heels. And then we're going to try it on the other side. We're just checking in on our balance so that when we move to more complicated tree pose, we know where we stand. No pun intended. Left foot, spread the toes wide, crown of the head's lifted. Come up on the ball of the foot on your right side. And then the imaginary string just pulls that knee up and we grasp and we hold. And we're looking at something that's eye level. If we look down, our body will try to follow. So looking parallel and then slowly step down, hands to heart center. And we want to check in on our breath, making sure that the breath didn't get choppy or that we weren't holding our breath. So a few just complete breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Very nice, everyone. Let's continue. Inhaling those arms up, stepping back with your left foot into warrior one. So the right knee's bent, left hip square to the front of the mat, and you're reaching up out of the waist. Very nice. So straighten your front leg, breathe in deeply, exhale to forward fold. Both legs are straight. You're looking for just your spot of gentle tension. And then leave your right hand where it is. Take your left arm and spin it up towards the sky, gazing up towards your hand. And then take that hand for a wrap behind your back so that the back of the hand rests on the spine and the elbow pulls up towards the sky. Release your hands, sending it up. Big stretch here. Inhale deeply. Exhale, sweep that left hand down to join the right. Breathe in deeply again, and as you exhale, maybe you press your chest a little closer to your thigh. And then bend your right knee, engage your abs, come back to warrior one. Hands come to heart center, and we're going to step forward. So moving on to our little bit more complicated tree pose, we're going to spread the toes wide on the right foot. Feel all four corners of the foot grounded into the mat, crown of the head is lifted. And then let your left heel just rest on the inside of your ankle. Based on how you did on your last standing pose, you can decide if the balance is okay to take the foot up and place it anywhere on the leg that you're comfortable. You're going to try to keep this knee abducted out to the side. You can leave your hands at heart center, or you can grow your tree to your own personal expression. Hands can be high or low. And remember, you want to look at something stationary across the room. Hands come to heart center. We bring our feet together and we sink down into chair pose. Put your right hand on the outside of your left leg, left hand on the hip as we gaze and look over our shoulder into a spinal twist. Keeping the knees bent, flip the hands across the body and change your twist up so you're looking over your right shoulder. Bring your hands to heart center. Straighten the legs, step that feet hip width apart. Inhale your arms up. Exhale as you step back with your right foot into that warrior one position. Knees bent, hips are squared. We reach up out of the waist. Now breathe in deeply as you straighten your front leg. Exhale, forward fold. Gazing down towards the foot, the mat by the foot. And then take your right arm and spin it up towards the sky. Gaze up towards your hand. And we're going to go ahead and take our hand for that wrap behind the back, letting the elbow pull towards the sky. Release that arm, give it a final stretch up. Breathe in deeply. Exhale, sweep down to join your left hand. Another big breath in, and as you exhale, press your chest a little closer to your thigh. And then bend your knee, engage your abs, come back to warrior one. Then bring your hands to heart center. Step your feet forward and together. So now let's take the toes and spread them wide on your left foot. Take that right heel and let it rest right there on the ankle. And when you're ready, you can decide if you'd like to pick your foot up, keep that knee abducted out to the side, leave your hands at heart center, or grow your tree to your own personal expression. Remembering to breathe, focusing on something steady. Hands come to heart center. We step the feet together, sink back down into chair pose. We're going to interlace our fingers now and press our hands away from us as our tailbone pushes to the back of the mat. And again, bend your knees just as far as you're comfortable. You're now in bear pose. Bring the hands back to heart center. Bend those knees nice and deep so that your fingertips reach the floor. Head hangs low. You're going to breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, you're going to straighten your legs, sending your hips high. Breathe in and bend those knees. Exhale, straighten those legs, head goes towards the floor. One more time, inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, straighten and let the head hang low. And then come into a low squat, and you're going to step one leg back and then the other into plank position. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. Squeeze your triceps lower through chaturanga. And come to up dog. And now you're going to take your knees wide, big toes together, and press into child's pose. So our knees are wide, and we're going to try to get our forehead down onto our mat. So forehead to mat connection. Arms can be stretched out in front of you, or they can be beside the body. No right or wrong there. And then walk your hands back towards you and come to a kneeling position. Your knees should be hip width apart. You're going to take your right foot and step out so that your foot is parallel to the mat. Right hand's on the right leg. Inhale, up on the left. Exhale, let that hand slide down the leg. Shoulders are back, hips are forward. We're in one straight line. Hips and shoulders all in one straight line. And then we're going to reverse our gate pose, so put your hand on the earth and with the other arm reach up towards the sky. Now you can stay right here or slide that bottom leg out and join us for a side plank. Very nice, everyone. Bring the knee down, engage your abs, bring yourself upright, float those arms down. Bring your toe in, take a big step out and press into your low lunge. So we're really stretching the front of the hip here. You can leave both hands right where they are for balance, or take that left arm and reach up towards the sky. Very nice. Bring that arm down, press back, straighten your front leg, heels down, toes up, and we exhale. Maybe our hands touch the mat, maybe they're just touching our shin. You're going to get a nice stretch through the back of the leg, and those toes go up towards to the sky, and it's stretching the fascia of the foot and the ankle. Use your abs to bring yourself upright and pick up your foot so that your ankle is right underneath your knee. Put your left hand on your left hip, right arm reaches up towards the sky. And you can choose to stay right here or take that back hand and float it down to your heel. Chest is elevated. We're in camel pose. Use your abs to bring yourself upright. Both hands tap the knee, and we take a big step forward as we press one last time into that low lunge. Hands come to heart center, and you're going to revolve to your right. Putting your left elbow on your knee and gazing to the side. Hands come back to heart center. We press back to kneeling. So our knees are underneath our hips, and we're going to pick up the left leg, bringing it out to the side. Your foot is parallel to your mat. Left hand's on the leg, right arm inhale up, exhale into your side bend, keep that shoulder back. And then we're going to reverse our gait, arms go in opposite directions. Make sure your hand's right underneath your shoulder. You can choose to stay here or slide that bottom leg out for the side plank. Bring the knee down. Use your abs, bring yourself upright, float the arms down. Bring the leg in, take a big step out, press into your low lunge. Take that right arm and reach up towards the sky. Float the hand down, straighten the leg, heel down, toe up, exhale to your forward fold. Looking for your spot of gentle tension now on this side. Use your abs to bring yourself upright and pick up the foot so the ankle's underneath the knee. Right hand's on the hip, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Again, you can stay here or float the hand down. So we're in our single-sided camel pose. Use your abs to bring yourself back upright. Hands tap the knee as we take the big step forward and press one last time into our low lunge, elevating the arm. Float the hand down, Press both knees back to side by side. Put your hands on your hips and then press the hips forward. Breathe in and then exhale as you gaze up towards the ceiling. You can stay right here or float both hands down to your heels. Camel pose. Use your abs to bring yourself upright. Big toes together, knees apart, back to child's pose. Stretching out that low back and abs. And then bring yourself back, and you're going to be a tabletop position. That's hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to ask you to take your right leg and press it straight back. Foot's flexed, legs parallel to the earth. Opposite arm comes up and we hold. Gazing down at the floor so that you don't strain your neck. Float the hand and knee down and we will switch sides. Pressing that left heel back, raising the right arm. Belly's firm. And then float the hand and knee down. So now we're going to do this, but add a little movement. So right heel and left arm are extended out. We breathe in deeply. When we exhale, we bring the elbow to the knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Breathing in and out. 2 more times. 1 more time. Extend all the way out and then float the hand and knee down. Make sure your shoulders are neutral. You don't want to be sinking too low or pressing too high. Make sure the hands are right underneath the shoulders, and then we're going to stretch that left leg back and right arm up. Breathe in deeply. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale and exhale. Very good, everyone. Keep going. 1 more time. Exhale, extend, float the hand and knee down. So again, checking in on your shoulders. Checking in on your breath. We're going to let our belly sag and our head and tailbone come up for cow pose. We breathe in deeply. As we exhale to cat, we round the tailbone, arch the back, head hangs low. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Moving with your own breath. 3 more times, breathing in and out. 2 more times. 1 more time. Very nice, everyone. Take a hip and let's bring those legs around out in front. So the soles of the feet should be exposed to across the room. So feet aren't falling out, toes are pulling up towards the ceiling. We're going to inhale our arms up and exhale towards our toes. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, and as we exhale, reach for the shins of the feet, maybe the toes, and we're going to stay in this nice forward fold. You don't want to bend so far that your knees buckle. So the idea is to keep the legs straight so you stretch all the length of the back of the leg. And then release. Let's go ahead and take those legs wide. Feet are still flexed. We're going to inhale those arms up. Exhale as far as we can. Inhale back. And exhale. Inhale, come back. And as you exhale, reach as far as you can. Float your hands to the mat and grip that mat so that you stay forward. Your spine shouldn't bend. You should be leaning from your hips. So stay nice and low. We're going to walk the hands over to your right ankle, shin, or foot. Keep pressing your left hip into the mat as you gaze towards your toes. Keep that opposite hip pressed nice and low. It's going to amplify the stretch. And then we're going to walk our hands across the body. Again, reaching for the shin or the ankle. Opposite hip presses into the mat. Walk your hands back to center. Walk your hands back. Bring the soles of the feet together as close to the pelvis as you can. Pelvis is forward. Inhale your knees up. Exhale, press your knees down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling and exhaling. 1 more time, breathing in and exhale. Now walk your feet away from you. Soles of the feet are still connected. You're going to grab your shins or your ankles and make sure your spine's tall, pelvis is forward. breathe in deeply, exhale, fold. And if your shins and forearms can connect, you can push against those shins to bring yourself into a little bit deeper forward fold. So now you're getting a nice stretch on the outside of the hips. And release. Come on up and slide your right knee in front of your navel and put your left knee on top. You can have your hands behind you to make sure you're nice and tall. You're going to start to get a stretch on that outside hip on the top leg. And if this is enough of a stretch right here, keep your hands behind you. But if you want to amplify the stretch, go ahead and grab that bottom knee. Inhale tall, and as you exhale, pull yourself forward. That's going to increase that stretch. And again, it shouldn't be anything that causes pain, just a nice gentle stretch. Gazing across the top of your mat, you don't want to bring your chin to your chest. You want to keep a nice tall cervical spine. And release. Let's go ahead and switch now. And our top knee is going to stack over the top of the bottom knee as much as possible. Hands are behind us. We're pressing ourselves to a tall spine. And we decide on this side if we want to stay here or if we can reach in front, grab the leg, breathe in deeply, exhale to your forward fold. So just looking again for a gentle stretch. One side can definitely be tighter than the other. So don't want to force the sides to match. And release. Let's extend the legs and give them a little shake out. And then you're going to bend your knees. You're on your heels. Your toes are pulled up towards the ceiling. We inhale our arms up, and when we exhale, we go back only as far as our back and tummy can hold us. So breathe in deeply. Exhale, lean back and squeeze your shoulder blades. Inhale, reach for your toes. Exhale, leaning and squeezing the shoulder blades. Breathing in, breathing out. 2 more times, breathing in, breathing out. 1 last time, breathing in. We come back and we squeeze those shoulder blades and hold. Continue breathing, let the spine be nice and tall. Abs and belly and back are all working, keeping you in place. And then straighten your legs and grab the feet, forward fold. And release. Let's take our right leg and cross it over our left. And so your foot's on the outside. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can have it in line with the hip, okay? But if you can cross it over, great. And the idea is that we want to sit tall and push our abdomen into our thigh. So our left hand grabs that right knee, and we're bringing the hand behind the hips. Inhale tall, exhale twist, and gaze over your shoulder, pulling your abdomen and knee towards each other. And release, come forward, and we'll switch sides. Again, wrapping the hand around the outside of the knee, putting the hand right beside the hip. Inhale tall, exhale twist, look over that shoulder. And release. Shake those legs out. Now that we've stretched through the hips and low back quite a bit, let's take those legs wide again. Spine's nice and tall, and we're going to walk our hands down the length of the mat and see if maybe we can get a little bit deeper in our forward fold now that we've stretched out some more. Very nice. Bring those hands back, and we're just going to let the right hand lay on the inside of the thigh. We're going to lean that left arm over our ear into a little side bend, and then we're going to inhale up, exhale, switch sides. Beautiful. Inhale those arms up, exhale as far down as you can for our final forward wide leg stretch. Walk your hands back, bring those legs in and give them a nice little shake out. So I'm going to ask you to go to a laying position. So we are going to be on our back with our knees bent. And I'm going to ask you to cross your left ankle over your right knee. Your arms are down on the mat, your palms are on the surface of your mat. You're going to make sure that you press those shoulder blades into the mat, breathe in deeply, exhale, press your hips up into a single-legged bridge. Make sure your hips stay nice and high during this pose. And then slowly lower. Leave the legs just as they are, but bring that right thigh up and grab hold of the inside and the outside of the thigh and pull back. We're back to stretching out this hip. And release, slowly lower the foot to the floor. And let's switch sides. So ankle crosses over the knee, shoulder blades press down into the mat. We take a big breath in, and as we exhale, we press those hips up nice and tall. And then slowly lower the hips. Grab the inside and the outside of that left thigh and pull the leg back. Getting a nice stretch now on the right hip. And release the legs, slowly lower the foot down. And both knees are going to be side by side. Legs are touching, feet are on the mat. Our arms are out to the side, palm up. And we're going to slowly let our knees fall to our left, trying to keep our right shoulder blade in contact with the mat. Extend the right leg if you want to amplify this stretch. Then bend the knee. Bring those knees up, gaze towards the ceiling, and just walk your hips away from your shoulders. And then breathing in deeply, we're going to exhale and let the knees fall to the right, maybe extending the leg. And then bend the knee. Both feet are on the floor, knees come to center. We're going to bring those knees up to our chest and make small circles, massaging the low back. One more time, and then switch directions. Relaxing that low back. Bring the legs to stillness. Straighten the legs, flex your feet, arms are beside you. We're going to slowly lower the legs to the mat. Don't let your low back arch. And then if at any point, if you feel like your back's arching or you're tired, just bend the knees and let the legs come down to the floor. Straighten your left leg out, grab your right knee and bring it to the outside of your rib cage. Give yourself a big stretch here. And slowly release, extend the leg, and we'll switch sides. And release. And I'm going to ask you to come to your side and press yourself up to a seated upright position where you're just in a nice, comfortable place. So legs can be bent or they can be extended. If your legs are bent, go ahead and have your hands resting on your knees. Your spine's going to be nice and tall and long. We're going to float our right hand down to the mat. Left ear leans towards the left shoulder. Just get a nice stretch through the neck muscles. Slowly bring the head up, and we're going to switch sides, dropping that left hand down, right ear to the right shoulder. And slowly bring the head up. Put both hands on the knees and let the chin go to the chest. Just letting that head hang low, feeling a nice stretch through the back of the neck and your upper back. And then inhale the head up and let's round those shoulders back, so nice and high and pushing back and low. 2 more times. And bring the shoulders to stillness. Inhale your arms up overhead, hands together and lower to heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for taking this time to practice yoga with me. I hope to see you on your mat again very soon.